Hello everybody, this is Janice, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made this part of this card, and maybe there'll be a part 2 on how I created this shape card for some of my new Cricut owner students from Michaels. So let's get started just on the background part of this card. What I did was I got a shape out of the Cricut Craft Room Basics, I think it's called. Let me show you here on my Gypsy what I mean. If I go here, this is Cricut Craft Room Basics, which you can get over in the Cricut Craft Room, obviously, and it's free. It's a free cartridge. And what you want to do is grab this one right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6th button on the bottom row. And I also used this cloud here to make my own cloud stamp. So I should probably tell you about that. So I'm going to back up one step. If you look here on this block, I have these, they're kind of like a silicone type material, and not sure if these are available. I'm going to check. I'm going to Google this and see, but they're Cricut cuttables. That's what the package says. Stamp sheets with storage pouch, and it comes with two stamp sheets, and they are 6 by 6 inches. And I barely ever use these, only because I have so many stamps. But I've been wanting just a plain stamp, a plain cloud, and it's been on the back of my head to do this for quite some time. So I cut out 3 clouds from that cartridge, and there's other cartridges that have clouds in case you don't have that or have access to the Cricut Craft Room. And so I cut these 3 different sizes. I believe I did probably 1 inch, maybe 1.5, and a 1/2 inch. This one's 1/2 inch. And I think this was 1 1/4, 1 inch, and a 1/2 inch. Okay, so what I did was I cut out this top note shape at 3.62 height and 4.69 width. And the reason why it's a funky size like that was because I just sized it to this size. I wanted it, this is hard to see because it's, but first I cut the big one out, and I cut that one at 4 1/4 inch height. Okay, and so then I created another layer, and I just kind of shrunk it down until it was the size that I wanted. Alright, I'm going to get my little mat here because we need this. And then what I did was I got some Versamark, and I'm going to stamp this, make a background. So there's got to be a website out there that still has those available. I mean, maybe Cricut.com has them available, but I just don't know. I haven't looked. I bought mine a long time ago when Joann's had them available. You know what I need to do? I've been forgetting to do. This is an anti-static bag. You can get this in the stamping aisle at your store, at your craft store, and it just kind of helps to keep the embossing powder in the places where you want it to be. Okay, and if we want to, get a different pattern, you can flip it upside down, and so it looks more random. And I think I will flip it again. And it's hard to see, obviously, it's clear. Put this one down here. Maybe that one there. I don't think that's, oh it did, yes, it did. Okay. And then I've got some clear embossing powder. I could do it with white, and then I would get a really, really white cloud. But just using, and the paper I'm using, this is actually my paper tray ink. It's the cream colored one. I can't remember what it's called. Vintage cream? I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But it's whatever creamy one they have. Okay, now I got some lines from where I inked by accident with my block. So I'm just going to take a little paintbrush and just okay, so that's good. Right, now we need to move this stuff so we don't, because now we need to heat it. We don't want to melt the foam. Oh, stubborn. Stay up there. Okay, get my tweezers, so I'm going to burn my fingers. And now we heat it. And so what we're going to do is called a resist technique, which is probably one of my favorite things to do. If you're just joining me, thank you for subscribing. And thank you all for your kind comments. And for your positive, encouraging words. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Okay. We just have one little cloud left up here. So now you can probably see my nice cloud background. I love it. I love it, love it. And I'll get my little mat here, and we're going to do some inking. I'm going to use my tumbled glass distress stain. And I'm just going to press it down until the ink begins to flow. Okay, and then what we have here is called Stormy Sky. And I'm just going to go in around the edges just to add a little definition to it so it stands out even more. And I used foam tape on the back of this layer so it would stand out against the card base, which is this here. I ran this through the Musical Flourish Cuttlebug embossing folder. And so see, that's going to pop off of there. Okay, and then I'm stamping the bird with Stays On here. But first I'm actually going to use the Stays On to stamp the little branch. And the branch comes from this pack that I got for my birthday from my friend Robin. It's from Hampton Art, and it has all kinds of little stamps in it. But here is the long branch, and I'm going to use Stays On only because there is embossing on here, and Stays On will stamp on that embossing. So I'm going to make it straight, and I want it to come off the side. And this is my Martha Stewart, kind of like a Martha, it's a Martha Stewart stamp press. And so there you see the branch. And then to get, I'm not going to do this right now, but to get the glittery leaves, I just used my 2-way glue pen and added glue just to the leaves, and then added glitter to make them sparkly. And then I went in and with the Stays On again, I stamped my bird. He's just perched up on that little branch there. And then I stamped my bird and colored them with some Distress ink markers. These colors right here. The Broken China, Dusty Concord, and Fired Brick. And those were Adrian's suggestions of colors. My son, who's 7, he loves the coloring of the birds idea. So he picked some colors, and he picked some good ones. And then what I did was I just cut out the bird after I colored him, and I added a bling to the center of the eye to give him a friendlier look. Because with that line for the eyelid, he just looks kind of grumpy or sleepy or just not interested and sarcastic. So I didn't want that look, so I just put a bling in the middle. And then I colored it with a black Bic Market. And, you know, and then I stamped the thanks. The thanks is in the same set. This is an assorted bird set from Inkadinkadoo, which I really like. They just kind of have just weird eyes. So I think they're appropriate for other things, but not for a thank you card. And then I just stamped thanks right on the cloud with the Stays On. Okay, and I'll come back and show you how I made the shape card on my Gypsy for my new Gypsy cricket owners. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.